Recording. We're recording. You look so pretty. You look gorgeous. Hang on. I need to get, it's going to be a long interview, so I need to get comfy. Wait a minute. Do I look good? You sure?
Hello, my name is Hannah.
And hi, I'm Becky, and together we are the Cheetham Sisters, also known as Cheethams with Dreams on our socials. We asked you guys to send in some questions about Hannah or about cerebral palsy, things that you otherwise might feel a bit nervous to ask or a bit intimidated by. So we're giving you the opportunity here to learn about cerebral palsy and about disability. What we must say is these answers are only from our experience. So what we're going to tell you today doesn't apply to every disability or everyone with cerebral palsy. It applies to our family. According to Tinternet, cerebral palsy, aka CP, is a group of disorders that affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. CP is the most common motor disability in childhood. Cerebral means having to do with the brain, and palsy means weakness or problems with using the muscles. Okay, so first question, number one, you ready? Antonia says, I have a son who is 4 and I find it very difficult to figure out what's appropriate to tell him, and when he asks questions, is it okay to approach and ask?
I am a friendly person who would rather be asked questions than stared at. I was born without oxygen to the brain, which makes my body work in different ways to yours. But I do understand everything and will communicate without my speech.
So yeah, as a family, we're quite open and honest and quite friendly when people approach us. We'd rather people come and ask questions to Hannah and to us rather than kind of steer the children away, like, oh, don't look, because that's just sheltering them. So I think firstly we'd say don't look. Smile if you're going to look, and don't be afraid to ask. Like I say, this is just for us as a family. Some people might not be open to that. If children do come up to us, we just tend to say, like Mum says, well, Hannah was poorly as a baby, which means now her legs and arms don't work properly, but she can understand everything you say, so it's okay to say hi and to smile. Yeah. So yeah, so obviously, and then when you go home, then use that time to teach your children about disability. It's just in a basic way, you know, a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses or activities. Encourage them to smile, encourage to learn about disabilities. Yeah. Linda says, how can she be the best mum? So I think I was going to answer this one, wasn't I? How can she be the best mum? What makes a difference in Hannah's self-esteem and happiness? So I asked Hannah this question, and she didn't really know the answer to it. Then we asked my mum the question, and I said, what did you do growing up? Like, what's made her the way she is? And Mum was like, she's always been that way. She's always had the self-esteem. Like, I'll say in the morning, you look pretty, and her answer will be, yes, I know. Like, she is that confident in herself. I think personally, always focus on the can do rather than the can't. So okay, you can't do this, so what can you do instead? Let's focus on that. Laugh and joke. We always laugh and joke, don't we, about your disability? So it's just a light-hearted conversation in here. So Mum will say to me, go and wash the dishes, and I will go, well, Hannah's not washed the dishes, and Hannah will go, but I can't because my legs don't do it. Do your puppy dog face. Yeah, so that is, we just make it a laugh and a joke, and always encourage, you know. Some children other than, or some adults other than Hannah might be like, I can't do this, I can't do that. Just give it a go. You know, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's going to be you can't do it, but let's move on, you know, let's do something else. Yeah, so you think that would help? And always compliments. My mum said compliments, don't they? How amazing, that's fantastic. You know, you've took your shoes off. Oh my God, let's celebrate that. You know, celebrate the milestones in your life. Yeah? This is from Claire. Does your disability ever make you feel down? You can answer me first. No. Go on then, explain.
No. I make the best out of every situation. I do get down and upset, but it is usually when routine goes out the window. It is never to do with my cerebral palsy.
Yeah? So, when we was discussing these answers, I said to Hannah, you need to tell the truth now. Like, you need to, a lot of people are expecting you to tell the truth. And she was just like, no, it never makes me down. I said, never, no, never. Obviously we'll come on to it, but we both do suffer with mental health, but Hannah's has never ever been about her cerebral palsy and about not being able to do things. Yeah. So it's from Leah. Is your voice box controlled by yourself, or do you sign to Becky, who then inputs it?
Bit of both. I can type myself and get across what I want, but my spelling isn't great, so that is when my family help me out. Hello. My. Hannah.
So like for big words like this, what I will do is Hannah will ask how to spell something, so she'll just stop and look, and then you spell it out and she carries on. Yeah, very good at copying. So if I was to put a piece of paper in front of her, you copy.
I. Love.
Manchester. M-A-N.
I love Manchester City.
This is from Lynn. How do you cope with your anger and frustration of not being able to do something?
I know my limits of what I can and cannot do. If I believe I can do something, my family will encourage me to try. I will give it my best shot, and if I cannot do it, I will accept help. I will, however, get frustrated if I know I can do something and somebody does it for me.
Very true, isn't it? So Hannah, little things, so like she can take her own shoes off. If you go to do the shoes, you better not, like you'll just get your head chopped off. Little things as well, like jacket, so I will take one arm out, Hannah always takes the other arm out. Don't take the other arm out. Like if she can do something, she's gonna do it. Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously there's things that you can't do, but you know you can't do them. So once you've given it a shot and you've gone, oh, that's really not out of my, you're okay to accept help. Yeah. This is from Jules. Has Hannah ever had a boyfriend or a girlfriend?
I did, but he was a bleep. I am happy being a single Pringle who is not ready to mingle.
Again, I asked you very seriously because it's something we don't talk about, is it? Would you ever want a boyfriend? And no, you're happy with friends, aren't you? She likes to kiss and cuddle and hold hands and that kind of thing, but she's very happy doing that with her family and friends, aren't you? So this is from Emma, and this was to me. Becky, how do you handle the people who talk to yourself instead of Hannah? So if someone asks me a question, or asks Hannah a question, so they're like, I don't know, has she had a good day today? I'll go, have you had a good day today? And they can blatantly see that Hannah is answering for herself, and they usually go, oh, okay. This is from Elaine. What frustrates you or is the most challenging part about living with CP?
The little things you think would upset me, like not being able to get my own drink, actually don't upset me because I don't know any different. Probably the most challenging is having little to do now I am older. I love to learn and be challenged, and day centers just don't do that. If we ever win the lottery, my family would build an accessible college for those over 25.
Yeah, it's always been our dream. There's a lot of great people out there and a lot of great things, but as you get older, and especially if your brain is ticking over all the time like Hannah's and wants to learn and wants to keep her skills up, I think there's not many places out there that do that, and it's due to funding. So if we were ever to come into some money, that's the first thing we would do, isn't it? Create a college. What part of other people's behaviour towards you upsets you the most?
People who think I am hard of hearing just because of how I look.
Hi Hannah, how are you? So I'm just going to prove to you how good Hannah's hearing is. So watch, walk away. into a completely different room. You ready? Ridiculous. You are hilarious.
I find it amusing when people think I don't understand because I will just hear all your secrets and pass them on.
Usually if someone doesn't talk to Hannah or talks to her in like a rude way, she'll just smile and nod and pretend she doesn't understand what you're saying, and then when she goes away she goes so yeah, what do you do when they go away? Say it again. This is from Jill. She says, do you think different disabilities should be taught in school?
Yes, I think even basic awareness and understanding of disabilities and how to communicate.
Yeah? What is a disability? How can we communicate with people who communicate differently? Basic sign, basic Makaton, things like that really, I think should be taught, and awareness. I mean, we went to a primary school where we had a lot of children with disabilities in our school, and I think that sets the children up for life, knowing that disabilities are out there and that it's a normal thing. This one is from Jean. Do you still have swear words on your dynavox, and when are you most tempted to use them?
Yes, I do. I mostly use them during football, especially when Man City lose. Although I can very clearly say the F word.
Roll a clip. This one's from Sarah. So, as an inspirational duo, who inspires you?
That is very kind. My grandma inspires me as she is my #1 best friend and cheerleader. She taught me everything I know.
Obvious, but it's going to be Hannah. I have a lot of inspirational people in my life. A lot of my friends inspire me. That's why they're my friends. But when I'm having a rubbish day, I just think, oh, like Hannah just gets up like with a smile on her face and just gets on with it. So that is very inspiring to me, as it is all of you, obviously.
Ellen DeGeneres is our hero and inspiration. Be kind to one another.
She's just, we watch it all the time, we pick ourselves up. A lot of our, what we do for goodness and inspiring people all comes from her, and yeah, she's just an incredible lady. Yeah. So from Kathy, I've got a great question after this one. I think sometimes people are hesitant to communicate with someone in a wheelchair because they're not sure of what their response will be. What would you say to those to help them get over their reluctance or shyness? That is a really good question, because I say this all the time. So it's quite intimidating to go up to someone and thinking, are they gonna answer me? Am I gonna look stupid if they don't? Like, am I gonna ask a question and then that'll just be like an awkward silence? I would always encourage, because most likely someone with a physical disability will always have someone with them. So Hannah will always have someone with her. So if I went up to Hannah, hi, how are you today? And she just looks at me, then I would just look to the carer for that little bit of a nudge, and I would like to think that a carer would then jump in. So with us, obviously I'll go up to Hannah and go, hi, are you alright? Hannah's going to answer me. If she wasn't going to answer me, then I would like to think that mum or I would jump in and try and answer with Hannah. So please, like, I know it must be awkward, but always know that someone will hopefully jump into you. It's amazing to speak to the person before, like, I get chills when someone comes up and speaks to Hannah before they speak to me. I'm just like, but that should be basic, shouldn't it, really, going around. If you don't understand the answer, it's okay to just glance to the carer and they'll be like, oh, okay, I'll help you out, you know. Smiles go a long way. Introducing yourself to the person. I just build on your confidence, build on your awareness and your training about disabilities, and hopefully that will come with a little bit of confidence to be able to think it's okay to go and say hi to someone. Yeah? Okay.
Skills. Skills you've got, love. Skills. Okay.
1, 2, 3. said, Hannah, are you still a massive City fan?
No. Oh, that's a shame.
Joking! Okay, so from Amanda, you love your role within the hospital. Tell us what it means to you.
I love my volunteering job. Although I am not able to do it at the moment, I get to show people around the hospital. It gives me a sense of belonging. I feel independent and make lots of friends. I am missing you all.
Oh. Say hi. Sarah says, my children are 5 and 7. They always say, what's wrong with that person? They never mean to be hurtful, just curious. How could they ask in a kind of way if a child, and then the same question, if a child came up to you, would you be okay with that, which we've already answered, haven't we?
I am as blunt as they come, so I don't mind if a young child states the obvious if they are genuinely interested. They could ask me why I am in a wheelchair. What disability does she have? Does she have a disability?
Yeah. With children, obviously we're very lenient because we know children are blunt and children are curious. So like that doesn't bother Hannah or us if someone comes up and be like, why is she talking funny? Like as long as they're not talking like teenagers where they should know better, I think that's okay to ask the obvious. Adults is totally different. Like we think that you should probably say like, do you mind me asking what disability you have? How does that affect you? What's wrong with her is like nothing's wrong with her. So when they say that, as adults, that does get a bit of our backs up. But kids, just as long as they're being curious and honest, that's absolutely fine. So encourage them to say, does she have a disability? Learn about disabilities. You know, why is she in a wheelchair? What, you know, do her legs not work? Things like that. Kaylee says, do you prefer it if people talk to you at a normal speed or slowly?
Normal speed, please. If I haven't caught something or understood, I will look for more explanation or to repeat yourself.
Sometimes, like, someone will say something and if you don't know what you're on about or whatever, like us, I'll just say, sorry, what? And so Hannah will look to me, like, and I'll go, just repeat yourself or explain what it is, yeah? And would you prefer it if a stranger looked at you and smiled or didn't look at all?
I would prefer it if people were not nosy and stared, but I understand people are curious, so if we happen to catch eye contact, I would love a smile.
Nosy. We don't like nosy people, do we? But if I'm walking past you and I'm like, look at you and you look at me, we go. So Tina says, Hannah, have you accidentally on purpose whacked someone and blamed it on an involuntary movement?
Yes, many times, usually by tripping people up.
You do, don't you? She did it the other night and I was laughing because she stuck her feet out, so my dad went flying and he was like, Hannah! And I said, oh, it was an involuntary movement. And Hannah was like, yes, it is. Wasn't there, was it? We just wanted to trip him up. Dad break. So Elsie says, Hannah, what has been your best experience so far?
Going to Florida to Disney World and Universal Studios.
Yeah. So you've been twice, haven't you? You've been with a charity called Destination Florida when she was 16, and that was without us. And then we went last year, didn't we? To celebrate both our birthdays, and it was the most amazing experience. So we're saving up to go again, aren't we? Crazy? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Do you have any kind of difficulty in swallowing food?
No issues with swallowing, although I do tend to store my food in the roof of my mouth. My extra saliva has given me teeth issues, so I can struggle to chew.
What's your favourite food, she said as well? Signed, yes, you signed it. So let's see what it is.
Chocolate bar.
Dig.
Chocolate bar.
One more time.
Chocolate bar.
Chocolate. And what's your favourite food when you go out?
Fish and chips.
Every time. Without fail, pub lunch. What's Hannah having?
Fish and chips.
Let's show people how it works. That's it, so you go down. And then it goes up into your mouth.
Tori says, great fashion, Hannah. Do you love fashion and what are your favourite shops?
Yes, I love fashion and I love to look great. I prefer my comfy clothes around the house, but Becky likes to live her inner skinny self through me. I love Miss Selfridge, Topshop, River and Superdry, and Odd's Primarni.
So I am the fashionista behind her great looks. Yeah, I always look like a potato. Ebony says, what's your favourite thing about me?
She always includes me in everything, which usually gets us in trouble with Mum.
Yeah! And we don't care, do we? I know there's a lot of other reasons why she loves me, but she doesn't tell me the answers. She just goes, I love you. Hannah, who is your celebrity crush? And if you could invite anyone to a dinner party, who would it be? That's from Sally.
Every single Manchester City player. I would invite Ellen DeGeneres to tea. We would have so much fun.
We would. Megan messaged us and said she has CP, but not to the extent of you, but still struggles. Do you have any tips to staying positive?
Stay strong both physically and mentally. Focus on what you can do rather than the negatives. Take time for you. I love my iPad and music. Every day brings you great opportunities.
Oh, you're so inspiring. Hannah doesn't know any different, so I think it's quite easy for her to... She hasn't... Quite a few of you obviously have had your disabilities later in life, which you've had things taken away from you, so I can understand that that's a bit harder to stay positive. But look for the good in every day. Yeah? Kay says, Hannah, does your muscles get sore with the way they contract at times and your involuntary movements, and does your hand hurt?
I have a high pain threshold. My muscles don't hurt, nor does the position my hand is in. But sometimes my involuntary movements can shock me and hurt momentarily.
Abigail says, Hannah, do you have support other than family for your care, or just so you get some time out from them?
I go between Becky's house and my grandma's for a break. I prefer to be with those who know me well.
Yeah, and I think that's come from our end as well. I think when we've just always done it between ourselves, we've never had Hannah go to other carers, which I think we should have. I think we should have, given them a chance. But obviously we know Hannah inside out, so we just prefer to do it ourselves. And she's no bother. You come and sit on my sofa, don't you?
Becky, I'm great today.
You're feeling great today. That's amazing. I'm feeling great today too. You wrote that on your own. Smart ass, aren't you? That's a wrap. Ooh, a wrap. Are you hungry? Me too. Oh! Click my hand.